I promised my son before he passed away on October 16th, 2012, that I will never relent in my endeavor to obtain the March 7th, 1968 record of injection by Bernard H. Smith, MD, head neurologist at Erie County Medical Center, formerly E.J. Meyer Memorial, that most likely caused his facioscapulohumeral muscular dystrophy. The contents of this injection, ECMC has not yet accounted for, in spite of a court order granted December 21st, 1984, for the complete records. ECMC even denies there was ever a consultation between myself and Bernard H. Smith, MD. When my mom said to me before she passed away on October 15th, 1978, "Son, there are things that people made me do. I don't have the heart to tell you. I want to leave you these papers. No one is going to help you. You're going to have to figure it out for yourself. This way, I'll know you'll be all right." She wanted me to figure it out, to find out the things that people made her do, to find out those persons who took advantage of her. Left it up to me, that's okay, I don't mind. One passion I've always had is rolling over small boulders to find out what's underneath. I've done it my whole life, finding things out. Tell me about it. Bernard H. Smith, MD, neurology, office in Edward J. Meyer Memorial Hospital. This is a letter to my mom. I found it in the papers she'd left behind. Mrs. William Iannaccone, 4121 North Bailey Avenue, Buffalo, New York, 14226. Dated January 23rd, 1969. Dear Mrs. Iannaccone, I phoned Blue Shield concerning the check they were supposed to have sent you in July 1968 to cover Dr. Smith's consultation with William on March 3rd, 1968, while he was a patient at Meyer Memorial Hospital. The lady I spoke to said you would have to send a letter to Blue Shield stating that you never received the above-mentioned check for $25. Thank you. Yours sincerely. First initial D, Johnson, Secretary to Bernard H. Smith, MD. Bernard H. Smith. I was transported back in time. Yes, I remembered him very, very well. Towering, lanky, gray-haired, disembodied eyes of ashen blue-gray tombstones, sunken into a petrified face. Dr. Smith appeared in my room like a nefarious apparition cloaked in a long, flowing white coat. I felt a distinct chill in the air. In an indifferent, aloof tone, he said he was Dr. Smith. He ordered me to follow him to his office down the hall. On a thick wooden door, Bernard H. Smith, MD, was engraved on the tarnished brass metal plate. I entered into the darkened room. A small, conical, dark green shade lamp dimly lit up his desk, where he took a seat in the corner beside a row of blinded windows. On a long wooden table opposite him, at an angle, I sat, my feet dangling. "Are you William Iannaccone?" he said in a cold, emotionless monotone. "Yes," I managed to say, my inner suspicions reeling. His pen began to move. on the paper on his desk. Is your father Peter Iannaccone, who was a patient at Canandaigua Veterans Hospital? He asked in the same unyielding tone. Yes, I said, feeling something was not right. Again, the movement of the pen. You can go back to your room now, he said, as I sidled past him out the door. Suddenly, he again appeared at my door. A large syringe emerged from his long white flowing frock, held upright, menacingly in his hand. My eyes locked into his. Time stood still. In my frozen moment of fear, it's as if I felt for a fleeting moment that he recognized me as human. Something flashed over in his eyes, perhaps an inkling of remorse. In an instant, he was over it. I have something for you, he said in a venal timbre, invoking the specter of Mengele on an evil mission. A cold midnight gust of frozen Arctic wind sent shivers through my bones. He lurched towards me in what seemed like lapsed, short, slow-motion spurts. Each snapshot forward a frozen memoir of mind. The needle penetrated my upper left arm. Slowly, the crystal clear blue liquid contained in the wide width, translucent plastic syringe drained into my body. How is this large volume of liquid ever going to fit into my arm? I worried to myself. Almost finished. His words hung like icicles in the frigid air. After the injection, he left fast, looking both ways down each corridor before leaving. Not long afterwards, a young nurse with long brown hair wrapped up under her snow-white nurse's cap entered my room. Who was in here? She asked fretfully. Dr. Smith, I responded. It was then that an older, gray-haired nurse, from what I remember most likely was Ruth F. Krause, re-entered the room. She had just taken a urine sample. She had turned on the water faucet and said ornery, "Watch the water stream, it'll help you go." She was too in a hurry. Who was in here? The younger nurse asked, craning towards the elder nurse. The neuro-resident, the elder nurse said. The younger nurse looked back over towards me questioningly. Put down neuro-resident, the elder nurse loudly, warningly, demanding, pointing her finger emphatically. The younger nurse's eyes opened wide at me as she placed her hand over her mouth. "Oh no, not you too," she blurted out as she turned and hastily left out the door of my room.